This is a recording for the afternoon session on Thursday, July 14th for the Old Capitol Preschool faculty. And for your afternoon session today, you'll start by watching this video from Lily Yeh called From Broken to Whole, where she describes her own story of redemption, and it's very powerful, and I've been using it over the last couple of years to help people with understanding different perspectives on how to heal communities. And since that was our topic in terms of trauma and young children, this is just a really beautiful story that I think, based on my students' reactions, they always love it and find it very inspiring and helpful. So after you watch the video, go ahead and discuss any reactions you have to her approach and her story, how she uses the arts and connecting community members to heal even in really terrible circumstances. I think we can really learn a lot from how we can use the arts especially to allow for expression and healing. And again, we talked about that being a really important process. And make a list of what you learned and how it might inspire you at your school and in your community. How could your children's voices be made visible to the community? So that can be maybe something you could think about. Maybe you even decide to do a special project. I know you're housed in a church, so that might be a really wonderful thing to share with the church members somehow. I don't know, but you do. So go ahead and do that. And again, these are timed sessions, but they're suggestions. So about an hour. The video is about 25 minutes. You might need a break afterwards and then get started on the discussion part. And then for the second part, take about 30 minutes to look at that list of things we have seen in young children who have been under toxic stress. And remember, there's a difference between regular stress and toxic stress. Some of our children have been under toxic stress before COVID. So if you know that's true of any of your children in your center, that's something to keep in mind, because if they were already under stress, COVID would have really made that an even more terrible situation for them. But just look at these behaviors here and have a discussion about where you've seen those and how you might see them differently now that you know that these are the body and the mind's way of responding to toxic stress, and that in young children they have no way to regulate that. So go ahead and have a discussion about that, maybe keep some notes. And also, if parents have been reporting things to you, that's really noteworthy. I do know most of the centers I've done this training with over the last year and a half have said that they have had parent nights about this to talk to their families, so that the parents can understand it as well. So that's something maybe you can even talk about. And you've had a full year of school back, so you may see less of that, but it's still good to keep in mind. We don't know how long that's going to last for our kids. It could last a very long time. Then your last big assignment, your 2-hour assignment, is I've left you the example of a sunburst on the poster board. I want you to create a sunburst poster board for yourself. You can work on these together and they can all end up being the same. That's up to you all. If you want to have center-wide projects and activities going on, that's actually pretty great, I think. But it's up to you. And make sure you're connecting these areas: art, story, song, nature, and I'm actually going to add movement here because I forgot to put it. So think about these areas in particular for your sunburst and your activities. So that should take you the longest time. Again, in the 2 hours, I'm including setup and breakdown. So, if you have stop a half an hour ahead of time to put everything away and put your poster boards where you want them and all that kind of thing, that's of course perfectly fine. So what I'd like you to do is save those poster boards, and I'd like to look at those the next time we meet on our last session on July 15th. All right, I hope this little recording has helped and that you have a great afternoon. And just remember, again, these time frames are not, they're just my suggestions. If you find you want to do more or less on something, that's really up to you. So enjoy your afternoon together.